Ever since I started this YouTube channel a little over a year ago, some of my most popular videos besides my portfolio unveil videos have been my top dividend stock picks of the month. So the first video in that monthly series was back in April 2020. So many other YouTubers have similar stock pick videos where they present their opinions on certain stocks or certain funds and why you should invest in them. But there is usually no follow-up after that, right? Were they right? Were they wrong? We don't really know in most cases. I think that's a shame and quite cowardly if you ask me. So that is why I decided that it would be fair to all my viewers to revisit my old stock picks to actually find out if they were a good picks or not. So in this video, I will go back and revisit my stock picks of the month from 1 year ago and check how the stock is doing now 1 year later. So it's time to review my stock picks for the month of May 2020. I will not only check the share price, but also the status of the dividend or distribution, which is much more important for us passive income investors. So was I right? Let's find out together. Alright guys, so let's go through the slide for my picks of May 2020. We'll go through them all first and then we'll go and see my report card. We'll see how they did. So pick number 1 was the American Hotel Income Properties REIT, stock symbol HOT.UN. So this REIT basically owns hotel properties in the US. So obviously they've struggled, they've done really bad because the travel demand plummeted because of COVID-19. So that's why I put this as a stock pick, because of you're really capturing amazing value. So the price during the stock pick was 284, which was giving a crazy yield of 22% Canadian, but they did temporarily suspend their dividend while I chose this stock pick. So this is not a surprise. It's something that I knew, and that's really why I chose this stock, because usually when a REIT cuts their dividend, reduces it, or suspends it, the stock plummets. So this was a really good play to grab value. So we'll see how this one did. Pick number 2 was another REIT, the H&R REIT. So this is a Canadian REIT in Canada, pretty big one. The 1 year high was 23.66 and COVID-19 completely smashed this one as well. It went to 9.86. So this is really a big REIT. It's not as big as RioCan, but it is fairly big. It's diversified, so they have everything from office, retail, industrial, and residential. My reasoning for this pick was that compared to the other big REITs in Canada like Crombie or Choice, Smart Centers or RioCan, this one got really hit the hardest. So at the time of the pick, the dividend was not cut or suspended as of yet. The rents were okay, 83%, not the worst thing in the world. But check out my takeaway. I find it's very interesting. Huge value for a big and well-diversified REIT. Dividend reductions is unlikely, but even an extreme cut like 50% will mean you will get a 7% dividend yield. Keep that in mind, because very ironic once we check out what actually happened with this REIT. Pick number 3, another REIT. So we're keep going with the real estate, Brookfield Property Partners. So this is a massive REIT managed by Brookfield, really the kings of real estate and infrastructure. That's what they specialize in. So the 1 year price at 28, and during April 30th or May 1st, the stock price tanked to 13.03. So pretty crazy discount here. And this is a humongous REIT. It owns office and retail, as well as multifamily, industrial, hospitality. So it owns a bit of everything, but it really focuses on office and retail, the two sectors of the real estate market that the COVID-19 hit the most. So my reasoning for this one, obviously, it's because the dividend was not suspended. These guys have a good history of raising their dividend. They also released a statement regarding COVID that their business model is robust, very defensive, which will allow us to ride out this storm. So the takeaway for me is that this stock was extremely oversold, which just means extremely undervalued, and it was really a big REIT and a well-established brand when it comes to Brookfield. So I thought it was a really good pick for the month of May 2020. Pick number 4, another individual stock. This one is a stock, not a REIT, however. It's the Boston Pizza Royalties Income Fund. So this one also took a massive beating, right? It's part of its restaurant chain. So COVID-19 completely obliterated restaurant chains. This one was $18. It went to $8. It lost more than half its value. And they also, like American Hotels, they suspended their dividend temporarily because of 2019. They laid off some corporate staff, and they had actually just reduced their dividend a month or two before the pandemic hit. So the stock was already undervalued because, like I said before, as soon as a dividend is cut, reduced, investors run scared and they sell off the stock. So it's a great time for smarter investors like us to get in really, really cheap and capitalize on that. Pick number 5, another individual stock. This is a really small company that I really, really like. It's a Canadian venture company. So it's on the TSX Venture, which is the small version of the TSX, Toronto Stock Exchange. It's Decisive Dividend. So this one, these guys basically acquire small manufacturing companies in Canada, and they run them, they make them more efficient, and they provide the profits to the shareholders. The reason why I was really attracted to this company, to be honest with you, is the name of the company, Decisive Dividend. So this 1-year high, $4.17, was already giving a great yield of 8.63, but it went to $1.45, which translated to a yield of 24.83%. These guys also suspended their dividend temporarily. The reason was not really a financial one, but more out of an abundance of caution. So these guys are really, really cautious, the guys that run this company, because they are financially, they're very disciplined. Also, their 2019 fourth quarter results were very positive. And in their statement of, because they suspended their dividend, in the statement, in the press release, they reiterated their commitment to paying a dividend eventually, which of course has to be the case, right? The name of the company is Decisive Dividend. So let's check out the report card and let's see how these 5 picks did. All right, guys, so let's check out the report card. How are the stocks doing 1 year later? So let's start with the American Hotel Income Properties REIT. So we already know this one the dividend was suspending at the time of the pick, so I can't fault myself for that. So the stock price is actually doing fairly well. It's recovered substantially since its low. It's at $4.12 now, which means an increase 1 year later of 45%. So really nothing to complain about. And like I mentioned previously, I did speak with the investors relation guy from this REIT, and they said that a dividend reinstatement will be likely by the end of the year or the beginning of next year. So it's just a matter of time before they reinstate the dividend. But in the meantime, if you had chose this one, you would have enjoyed a 45% increase. So really, really good pick, I would say, even though the dividend was suspended. I can't fault myself for that because it was already suspended at the time of the pick. So remember H&R REIT at the end of my pick, of the reasoning, I said that even if it's lowered by 50%, you would still get a 7% distribution yield. Well, very ironic because that's exactly what happened. So H&R REIT, shortly after, I think it was just a month later, lowered their dividend by 50%. So I think it's still a really good stock pick because it's a solid REIT, and who's to say that they won't re-raise the dividend? I mean, it's very, very likely because by cutting your dividend by 50%, if a REIT does that, their payout ratio becomes much, much better, much, much safer. But in terms of stock price, this went up by 54%. So I still got to say that it's a really good stock pick. Brookfield Property Partners, this was probably the best stock pick out of the 5 because not only did it go up 69.1% in a year, so right now it's trading at about 22.10. The pick date, it was at 13.03, so a pretty big increase. But the dividend is completely unchanged. They haven't missed a beat. They still kept paying their dividend. And there's also news that this company or this REIT will be swallowed up by the parent company, Brookfield Asset Management, so it might go private. But either way, it's still trading right now, up 69% from a year ago. Unchanged dividend, an awesome stock pick, I have to say so myself. Number 4, Boston Pizza Royalties Income Fund. So this one was also a really great pick because it was suspended. The dividend was suspended at the time I chose this one. But look at the stock price, up 61%. So this one recovered substantially as COVID got less and less severe and restaurants started opening up. So one thing that is saving them, it's a pizza company, right? So they make a lot of money on takeout. So Their distribution, the good news for this one, was reinstated, 5 or 6 months after the pandemic, or after they suspended their dividend, rather, on October 2020. But they did lower it from the previous level. So it was lowered by 36%. So a lower dividend, but the dividend is back. Share price increase of 61, almost 62%. Really good stock pick as well. Last but not least, decisive dividend. So this one, look at the share price increase. It's now trading at $3.19. So this one, you would have more than doubled your money if you would have listened to me and picked decisive dividend. And the good news is that they recently reinstated their dividend just last month. They reinstated it a bit lower. They lowered it by 33%, but they say that they might be in a good position to put it back. Was 36 cents. Yeah, so right now it's 24 cents. But it used to be 36 cents. So they said that they'll probably set it back at 36 cents by the end of the year. So really, really good stock pick. I mean, this one blew it out of the water here. It's my record stock price increase at 120%. And second place is Kiara back in April picks, up 117%. So all in all, pretty good picks for the month of May 2020. And there they are 1 year later. So there you have it, guys. All my picks for May 2020 were really, really good picks. But to be honest, it's not a surprise, right? Because it was during the COVID-19 stock market crash. So I don't consider myself some sort of genius. It's quite easy to be a good stock picker during a stock market crash. And also keep in mind that back then I was still investing heavily in individual companies or individual stocks. But as the months will go on during my investing journey, and after the lessons that I learned during the stock market crash, I started going away from individual stocks and single REITs. So now they make up a very small portion of my portfolio, and it would only get smaller with time. So as we go forward in time, there will be less and less individual stock picks on my picks list, but we'll go through them anyways to see how they performed nonetheless. As always, please support us. Please support this channel by hitting the like button. It's free for you and it helps the channel out, so it's a win-win. Please visit our website, guys, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, where you could purchase our digital product, the Ultimate Dividend Passive Income Investing Package, which is a list of a bunch of funds, not only on the Canadian stock market but on the US stock market as well, which will help you to build your very own portfolio, whether it's income, whether it's growth, or a little bit of both. So version 2 is coming out very, very, very soon. I'm very excited about that, and I will do a video covering version 2 and all the changes that I made to my product. And keep in mind that if you buy the product now, it does come with lifetime updates, so you will have access to the next versions for free. Also on my website, you could book a one-on-one video consultation with me personally if ever you want to ask me a million questions. You want my help to build a new portfolio, modify an existing portfolio, whatever your needs are, I will do my best to help you. So you could just book it on my website. Right on the homepage, there's a big calendar. You just find an available date and book the appointment. I am full for May and June, so I'm taking appointments for July right now. Finally, make sure you're subscribed, guys, so you don't miss out on my future content and community posts on passive income investing, which is all really designed to help you on your investing journey. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. Our Facebook group keeps growing very, very quickly. We just passed 600 members now, so make sure to join our group if you use Facebook. All the information to all our stuff will be in the video description below, so make sure to check it out. Our mission remains the same, guys. It's to help everyday working people to invest on their own, to build their own stream of passive income so you could enhance their quality of life. So with that, take care, guys, stay safe, and see you next time.